So Blackburn Rovers head into the international break, taking on Cardiff City at Ewood Park. And for this match, I'm going to give you the shortest match preview ever, Tony Mowbray. Basically, you got to rinse and repeat. This time looking forward to Blackburn Rovers taking on Cardiff at Ewood Park, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, world football related. We're going to all here, boys, under one Ruski. That's right. Looking forward to this one as we've started the season in very good form, of course. Winning 2 at the previous 3, but playing good football, exciting football, goal scoring football, and that's what we hope to see more of heading into the international break. Of course, after this game against Cardiff, we'll take a little bit of a back seat for a week or so, as of course the majority of clubs get to rest. But I won't be resting. The videos will keep on coming. And before we jump into deep, I want to make shout out, of course, to the patrons supporting the channel behind the scenes. You know who you are. We actually lost one in travelling time or something way back when. We lost one. I don't know. And it does happen, and you can only support become patrons for as long as you can do, really, and do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. But in the process of losing one, 2 guys actually upped their pledge. So a tremendous shout out to Russell Frost and of course Chris Wilson for upping their pledge for this bad boy. So let's get before we go, if you are interested, of course, in becoming a patron, there is a link down below, of course, in the description, alongside my Twitter details, Facebook details, and all that kind of stuff. Make sure to check it all out, and also Twitch details, as that might come apparent later on in the video, because I want to be talking about a watch along, boys and girls. A watch along. We'll talk more about that later. Let's get into it. Of course, take a little look. I've got at Rovers up against Cardiff. That's right, taking place this coming match day. Look, that's right, folks, right here, boys and girls, at the fantastic Garden of Eden that is Ewood Park, boys and girls, the venue for this week's weekend's clash. Of course, no fans still. Don't know whenever they'll get back, but it'll be right here, and hopefully Rovers can make this a fortress with and without fans. So let's take a close look at, of course, the people in the spotlight. Rovers, of course, managed by Tony Mowbray, with Darrell Lenihan and his Capitano, and Adam Armstrong, the goal scoring machine at the moment. He'll be locking horns against this fella, of course, coming out of Cardiff. Neil Harris is the gaffer these days. Sean Morrison, decent captain, good commanding centre back there, and Kiefer Moore, who's also started off the season in pretty tip-top form. Of course, Adam Armstrong leading the charge at the moment with the old goal scoring stakes and the championship. In fact, we have the top 3 goal scorers at the moment, and I don't want to be sounding all very gloating and overly confident about it, but it is good to see us in those positions as it stands. But it is, of course, incredibly early days, and we don't want to get too excited about everything right now. But anyway, that's the key men for me heading into this. Of course, Adam Armstrong on fire right now. He might not have played well against Derby, but he did chip in with a goal, and that's what happens, boys. And that's what we need from a player. Of course, if your players, you rely on him and he plays tremendous every week, fair dues, yeah. But if you can get a player who scores goals and he's playing terrible, that's even better. That's actually even better. But anyway, let's get into it, of course, a little bit detail now. Of course, look at the stats now for Rovers heading into this. Armstrong has kicked off the season in tremendous form, scoring 5 goals so far already in the league and the league alone. Is that right? In the league alone? I believe that's right. 5 goals. Bradley Johnson from midfield as well has got chipped in with 3 goals already, and of course Tyree Stolen, the young surprise package there, coming in with 2 goals as well. Tricks galore. If you're going to watch the game, stick a camera on that guy. Just stick a camera on him and sit back, get your popcorn out and watch him bang out his tricks and stuff. And again, if you want to watch the game, fair dues. Everyone's got that, or the ability to watch it on iFollow. But you might well stick me on in the background. Stick me on the old YouTube or even the old Twitch as background, and we can watch it together. We can have a little communicado as it takes place. And we'll talk more. Again, I've got to talk more about that in a little bit. Rothwell's chipped in with 2 assists so far. Rankin Costello's also got 1. Chappers has got 1, and the list goes on. There's actually quite a few guys with assists already. So a yellow card. I think Darrell Lenihan has 1. He may have 2, but I think I've got him down as 1. Johnson 1, and Rothwell have a yellow card to boot. No red cards so far. Long may that continue. Heading into the stats and figures for Blackburn Rovers. So far, we have chipped in with, 11 goals so far, 7 through open play, 2 through counter-attacks, 1 set piece and 1 penalty. And we've had our attacking avenues coming down, predominantly the right-hand side so far, which is usually the Nyambi effect, but he's not been playing the past couple of games. 42% of all of our attacking avenues coming down that right-hand side, 33 down the left, 25 down the middle. As for our action zones, that's 43% of the possessions kept within the middle third there, 31% in the attacking third, and 25% in the defensive third as the seasons progress. So this is, those numbers will change. They'll fluctuate quite a lot over the next few weeks and games and all that. As for shots, what we got here, 5% of all of our shots are taking place within the 6-yard box, 55% within the 18-yard box, and 40% outside the box so far this season for Rover. As for where the shots have come from, 25% down the left, 12% down the right, 63% down the middle. That 25% is, of course, predominantly the Adam Armstrong effect. He comes in from the left-hand side, but I think now Brereton's now occupying that spot. Armstrong down the middle, and we're seeing the benefits of that of switcheroony. Of course, last season you look at Holtby playing in that central role. Rothwell was playing in that central. Of course, Dak. We didn't have this formation when Dak was knocking about, or we didn't use it anyway. It was more the 4-2-3-1 sort of jobby. But now we're actually seeing it in full effect. Of course, heading into this, Rovers. This is their past 5 games. There's a couple of blips on there. We did open up the season with a 3-2 win over Doncaster in the League Cup. That was back at home at Ewood Park. And yeah, it's actually been 3 months on the spin for Rovers so far at home. We did lose to Bournemouth 3-2, scored goals. It was just one of those days. We outperformed and outplayed them, and then we ended up on a losing side. And I think they had 3 shots on the day, 3 shots on target, and they all went in the back of the net, and that was not the debut for Kaminsky. Same can be said for Newcastle. An amazing performance, outplayed Newcastle off the pitch, and they can do some damage, Newcastle, on their day, but I think they were lucky. They were very, very lucky to get past us, and fair dues, concentrating on the league, aren't we? And then we, of course, back-to-back wins in the league against Wycombe and Derby, scoring 9 goals in the process, so that's good form for Rovers heading into this. On the flip side, we've, of course, taken on Cardiff today. Then in the horizon, we've got Nottingham Forest on the first game back after the international break, back at Ewood Park as well. And again, that is a interesting match, that one, because of course Lanucci and Cardiff, Cardiff have had an okay start. Forest have had the worst start, and it's more like Derby. That's what I'm trying to say. More like Derby, not been performing, and you do expect Derby and Forest to be up there. And I don't know. I'd love to see, Lanucci just do enough. Maybe get a point this weekend, whoever they're playing, and then convince the board that he's the man for the thing, and then hopefully we can take advantage of their poor form, because the new manager, if he was to get fired, and we know we're supposed to be talking about Cardiff, but if we want to take a look at Nottingham Forest just for a little second, if Lamucci was to get fired after this match, then they have 10 days or so to bring in a new manager, and the likes of Chris Shooton's knocking about, and I do expect a new manager bounce from Forest, because they have got the facilities, they've got the players and all that kind of stuff to cause us some problems. So I'd rather play them when they're stuck in the mud than with a new manager. But anyway, we're not talking about them right now. I just wanted to put that out there. Cardiff, of course, coming at us with Neil Harris. Watford on the horizon as well, down at Vicarage Road. I would have gone to that one if we were there. Coventry as well, first game against them in a while, and Reading at Ewood Park, the back end of October. That's us. Now this is the starting. We're going to knock up a starting to 11 together. That's right. Let's pick it apart. The team should pick itself for the most part. The main concern is this fella right here, Rankin Costello. He did play in that right back slot for Rovers the past couple of games. Another couple of question marks are these two fellas, Ayala and Chappers. Of course, not really starting regularly at the moment. We'll leave this guy out. Of course, Corey Evans is also another person who could come into the side. But of course, Kaminsky will start in goal. No questions at the moment. We are still looking to bring in another goalkeeper. Amari Bell's been doing the business at left back, and that's another spot that's up for grabs in the near future. I do expect if we can bring somebody in. I think there's recent links. Of course, Cunningham is one that we would like to have back, but he's looked like he's a start against us. Manning was another one that was knocking about, and I did read something about Dallas from Leeds, which would be good. Experience and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know if it'll happen. Darren Lennon will remain, of course, El Capitano for the time being. So yeah, the question is Nyambi or Rankin Costello. I think Rankin Costello is out due to an injury, so there's no question. I think that's that problem solved already. Of course, Adam Armstrong, I'm going to stick him right smack dab in the middle. No questions asked. Rothwell will come in as well, doing his bit on the left hand side of a trio here. Brereton doing bits probably on the left. Holtby, my Iniesta at the moment, pulling the strings, doing the Stuart Downing effect from last season. Bradley Johnson, Thunder Bastard extraordinaire, will also continue to play. And of course, Tyrese Dolan, who's been the surprise package so far, coming out of nowhere, coming out of Preston, of course, on a free transfer. It's two goals in the last 2 games. Just a big bag of tricks, really. So Chapman and Tyrese Dolan, they're your possible options for this spot up here. And I don't see why you would change Tyrese Dolan at the moment for Chapman, even though Chapman did chip in with an assist in that last game. So I'm going to have him on the sidelines to come off on the bench, Chappers. Of course, Derek Williams should partner Darragh Lenihan alongside, in that back 4 there. So Ayala's decent. Of course, he did play some time in the under-23s this week, but I don't think he's going to be featured. He might be on the bench. Evans as well as another option for the midfield here if he's fit and raring to go, but again, you can't drop Bradley Johnson at the moment. So these 4, I'd say, would be your guys that are going to miss out. Purely, of course, Frankie Costello with injury. If he wasn't injured, then we would have a little bit of a discussion. I'm a big Nyambi man, and he usually gets a 7 out of 10 for me whenever he plays, but he's not there today. So that's that. Moving on, so that's will be my start 11 for Rovers. We'll take a look at Cardiff's in just a second. Let's take a look at Cardiff's actually stats at the moment. The main man at the minute, Kiefer Moore, starting off the season in tip-top form, formerly of Rangers, of course, chipping in with 2 goals so far. Lee Tomlin's also got 1 as well. Marlon Pax, your main man with the assist, has actually got 1, just like the El Capitan and Sean Morrison, both have 1 assist so far. As for your discipline, Junior Hoyle has already got 2 yellows to his name. Of course, ex-Rover, Bakuna, Moore and Sang are in there with yellows so far, as Cardiff made an indifferent start to the season. We'll have a look at the table shortly. Their attacking avenues. Let's take a closer look at Cardiff's goals and exploits, shall we? Well, according to my knowledge, they've actually scored 3 goals this season, so I don't know whether... Oh, yeah, 2 for Kiefer Moore, that's right. And they've all come from set pieces, so we're going to watch that. That's going to be an interesting an avenue of attack. Of course, they're a very tall team, and they usually dominate the aerial duels. Anyway, the majority of their attacking avenues coming down the left-hand side, 40% down the left, 24 down the middle, 36 down the right. As for your attacking zones, 43%, or your possession is kept mainly in the middle third there, 43%, with 29% in the opposition third, with 28% in the own third. Maybe I've got that down as 29, but give or take, slight margins there. Moving forward, as for shots for Cardiff, 18% of all their shots coming in the 6-yard box, 51% within the 18-yard box, and 29% long range bad boys. So we should expect quite a few intensive areas there. Basically it's a good old selection box there. You can't really tell where the shots are going to be coming from this stat. Of course, mainly from within the 18-yard box, but a good healthy stat within the 6-yard box there, so not too shabby there. And the shots coming from what angles? 71% down the middle and 40% from either the left or the right hand side. Now, what do we expect? Okay, this is actually there. This is their leading to this. Of course, they took on Northampton in the Carabao Cup, and they lost 3-0. That's back in September. They also took on Sheffield Wednesday, and they also lost that one. That was back at Cardiff over in Wales. Lost that 2-0. They did take on Forest recently, and they beat them 2-0 at their place at City Ground or whatever it is, and also took on Reading, and they lost that game as well. They're down at wherever they play. Where they play, Cardiff Farm, not Cardiff Farms Park, whatever, down in Wales. They played them down in Wales. I do apologise. It should be in there, but it's not. So yeah, heading into this, 2 wins. So heading into this, just 1 win in the past 4 for them in all competitions, and that was against Sheffield Wednesday. Moving on, what's on the horizon for Cardiff? Of course, after this game, they're going to take on Preston North End away down at Deepdale on the 18th of October. That's, of course, after the international break. Then it's a quick-fire game against Bournemouth, and that will be back at home down in Wales. Then it's back the Neil Warnock Derby against Middlesbrough, of course, on the October 24th, back also in Wales. And then it's Derby and then QPR to end the month of October. So how are they going to line up? Well, we'll have a little look at it then, shall we? Now, I'm going to try and piece this team together. It's going to be a little bit tricky because, of course, I'm not that familiar with their positions, but we'll have a crack at it. So here we go. Who do we have here? Let me blow this up on my end. We got Kiefer Moore leading the charge, of course. He will go up top. No questions asked there. Bakuna, this is the dilemma. I'm going to slot him in here for the time being, but we'll have a look at it in a minute. Right back will be this fella, OC Tutu. He's been starting the last couple of games. They might have other options options at right back, but I think they may opt for him. New signing Ojo, again former Rangers, is he former Liverpool man? Junior Hoylett as well. Again, of course, ex-Rover extraordinaire. Lee Tomlin is the dilemma here in midfield. We'll talk about who gets the nod there. Will Volks, of course, defensive midfield masterclass, and Marlon Pack as well will support him in that role. Of course, ex-Rover here, Greg Cunningham, former left back from Preston as well. We were optimistic of trying to get him back on loan again, but because his loan was cut short last time around. Smithies, I've given him a hard time in the past, but he's a decent keeper. And of course, the centre back pairing of Nelson and Morrison is no questions asked. So you may see a change at right back here. They're not going to start with 12 players. I'm just deciding. Of course, Bakuna has started the past couple of games in that sort of attacking or in that middle trio slot there. But Lee Tomlin's your man coming on, and he's got a goal in him, of course. Probably more used as an impact sub these days, and I think I will stick with this one. The only couple of changes will be maybe right back, maybe some changes up here alongside. Maybe Hoylett may get switched around, or Ojo as well. So Tomlin to come from the bench. Kiefer Moore, of course, there's no questions asked. The back three here, these three here are likely to remain: Cunningham, Nelson, Morrison, and Smithies, and of course Folks and Pack. I think they're all nailed on. You may see a little bit of a variety up in this trio. Kiefer Moore will start as long as he's fit, because he scores goals. And Tomlin from the bench is always a nice little player to bring on. He's a crafty little wizard, isn't he? So heading into this will actually be the 71st time that these two sides have played against each other. Blackburn Rovers winning 26 of them, Cardiff winning 24, and there's been 20 draws, and their scores are rolling across the screen there, stretching all the way back to the 1920s. That's right. But of course, let's take a closer look at those games and goals in the last six, of course. The last six overall, across the board, all competitions, all grounds, sees it slightly in favour of Cardiff. They actually got 2 wins at the past 6 games. Rovers are picking up 1 win, and there's been 3 draws. Last time they played each other was over in Wales. It was a 3-2 win, with, of course, that goal from Adam Armstrong, which I don't know if it did win goal of the season. It bloody well should have done. Definitely goal of the season for Rovers. The long-range effort, keeper off his line, to give us all 3 points, to make sure of it as well. The game was level up until that point. So, yeah, Rovers have the better of the luck in the past 2 or 3 matches across all competitions. If you take a look at it at Ewood Park, we've actually won 1. They've won 1, and they've been 4 draws. You've got to go all the way back to 2012 there for Cardiff's last victory. It was in 2012 in the Championship, with Craig Bellamy on the score sheet. Of course, ex-Rover there. Josh King, the one and only goal for us. Mark Hudson, Joe Mason, and Kim Bo Kyung, all the way back in 2012. But it's been, 8 years since Cardiff have been victorious over at Ewood Park. But as for Rovers, you've got to go back even further. For the last time we've actually beaten Cardiff over in Ewood Park, back to 2005 in the FA Cup. Goodness gracious me, 3-2 win. So we are due a win. We are due a win against Cardiff at Ewood Park. That's what I'm trying to get to you. And also another fascinating stat for you, of course, Tony Mowbray, the man that pulling the strings behind the scenes for Rovers, taking on Neil Harris. This will be the 8th time that these two have locked horns in the old dugouts. Rovers gaffer winning 5 of the 7 encounters, and there's been 2 draws as well. So Neil Harris yet to get one over, of course, the managerial mastermind that is Tony Mowbray, heading into this bad boy. What else have I got for you? Shall I take a look at the bookies odds? Well, have a little look at the bookies odds before we bounce into the back end of this. Of course, Rovers locking horns against Cardiff this Saturday. It is 23-20. Rovers are your favourites. 11-5 is your draw. 5-2 is your away win. So what else is going to go on in the Championship? Well, we'll take a little look at it. Of course, Coventry taking on Bournemouth this coming Friday. That'll kick off the Championship extravaganza this weekend. That's the one and only game. All eyes will be on that one. It's actually the second time Coventry have featured on a Friday night game. What else have we got? Norwich taking on Derby. Of course, the early kickoff on the Saturday. Then it's Nottingham Forest taking on Bristol City. Sheffield Wednesday taking on QPR. Luton Town against Wickham. Big game for Wickham. They need to get themselves up and running. The game of the weekend, of course, at Ewood Park. Rovers taking on Cardiff. Middlesbrough taking on Barnsley. Rotherham taking on Huddersfield. Reading taking on Watford, of course, at the Majewski. Swansea City taking on Millwall. Brentford taking on Preston North End. And Stoke City are taking on Birmingham, of course, this coming match day. I want to come with more bits and pieces on Rovers. Rovers kind of actually won 6 of the last 7 away matches in the Championship, whereas Blackburn are actually undefeated in 17 of the last 19 matches at home, and have scored at least 2 goals in the last 5 matches in the Championship. What we can expect from the game: Rovers finishing scoring chances, attacking down the wings, creating long shot opportunities, creating chances through balls, counter attacks, creating scoring chances, coming back from losing positions, creating chances through individual skill, and attacking set pieces, and also protecting the lead. Meanwhile, Cardiff's strengths: attacking set pieces, aerial duels, protecting the lead, whereas their weaknesses are defending against through ball attacks and avoiding individual errors. Rovers' weaknesses: avoiding offside, defending against attacks down the wings, defending against counter-attacks, stopping opponents from creating chances, and defending set pieces. The outlook is Rovers are going to take a lot of shots, controlling the game, attacking through the middle with short passes and a consistent first 11, while opponents play aggressively against them. Meanwhile, Cardiff's style is attacking down the left, also non-aggressive. And the forecast: Cardiff will score from a set piece, Rovers will score as a result of a through ball or as a result of an opposition error. That's right. So that's a bit of a summary for you as we head closer to kick-off. But in the Championship, Bristol City lead the charge, of course, 9 points out of 9. Reading also 9 points out of 9. Swansea, Bournemouth, Watford and Blackburn make up the top 6 at the moment. And, of course, our opposition this week, Cardiff, down into 16th. A win for them could actually shoot them above Blackburn Rovers, depending on goal difference, of course. Down the foot of the table, Sheffield Wednesday with, of course, that points deduction with -8. Wickham and Derby make up the relegation spots as it stands. And just for giggles, because we want to know, who is the top goal scorer at the moment? It's, of course, Adam Armstrong leading the charge with 5 goals. Bradley Johnson's in second with 3. Tyree Stolen's up there with Danjuma. Patterson, of course, who's Bristol City. Lucas Jow, ex-Rover there. Jed Wallace, Kiefer Moore, Lyndon Dykes and Jermaine Bellier getting in on the goals action there. So yeah, big opportunity for Rovers to make a stake at another claim for honours here over in the Championship. Of course, we're due a bit of luck, we're due a bit of change. Anyway, before we bounce out of here, save out a little bit what I'm about to say. What about the fans on social media there now? Of course, it's quite hard to try and get some fan input prior to the match, but not if you go over to the brfcs.com forum. That's of course an old familiar stomping ground. If you got to take it with a pinch of salt. There are some very opinionated guys in here, but there's also some good valid input for us all to enjoy. So let's jump in deep in and have a look at it, shall we? Of course, it's a generic start there, just to kind of asking people for their opinions and all that kind of stuff. We'll start with Dreams of 1995. Same team except Nyambe for JRC. Cardiff is a different challenge for us. They've got out and out wingers in Ojo and Hoylett, so our fullbacks will be in for a tough day, but suspect they'll be more than up for it for the challenge. There's not really anybody that worries me, as I think Lennon and Williams can handle more between them, predicting a 3-1 win. With any luck, Brereton can get on the score sheet. He has done everything but score this season, deserves his reward. Feels strange already, looking forward to a game. Optimism well and truly back. S8 and Blue said, I suppose I'll take a 3-0. Can't be greedy though. Admiral Nelson said, this will no doubt be a better indicator of where we are than against Derby. Win here and we can go into the international break full of optimism. Amazing how your perspective can change from just 1 or 2 results. When the fixtures first came out, I was looking at the games in September and October where we could pick up the points and keep us competitive after a difficult start. Now I'm looking at Cardiff and Forest as home games as opportunities to already put decent gaps between ourselves and playoff rivals. Meanwhile, Joe said, I wonder who the playoff rivals will be. Certainly doesn't seem like Derby or Forest will challenge. Maybe Swansea are one of you could get into the top 6, but I wouldn't write them off. I'll write them in with the ink pen either. Wide open season. Philip L says, this important to keep the momentum going. I suspect this will be high scoring with both teams getting on the score sheet sooner or later. If we repeat the slow starts like we had against both Wickham and Derby, we'll let the first goal and make the afternoon significantly more difficult for ourselves. However, no panicking when it is still 0-0 after 20 minutes, please. Saying it will be the same team as last time except Nyambe in for JRC is a pretty safe bet. 1864 Roverite said, a very different type of game for Rovers and for us to see how the defence handles the big lad more up front. I'll be walking around the coast of Devon, so hopefully that pings that I will get will be Rovers goals. 2-1 to say the very least. Of course, those are the early bird commenters in there. Feel free to head over to brfcs.com for more Rovers content. Of course, a fantastic place to keep up with the community. And another fantastic person or fantastic specimen is DigiCast. Of course, here she is with, of course, her own prediction between Blackburn Rovers and Cardiff. Show me what you got, DigiCast. Before we bounce out of here, I want to showcase a list of some great players, or all players who have played for Blackburn Rovers, and of course Cardiff City. Of course, Peter Whittingham, the late great Peter Whittingham there, sadly no longer with us. He, of course, ended his career with us. They've got Craig Cunningham in there, who's likely to feature. Of course, Junior Hoylett as well. Of course, Craig Bellamy, goal scoring machine. Who else do we have in there? Robbie Fowler, that's right, he did also play for Cardiff as well as us. But anyway, feel free to check the list out. Gary Croft is in amongst it as well. Jay Boothroyd, Nathan Blake. Goodness gracious me, some familiar names of the past there, boys and girls. And that, my friends, is pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. If you are new, bang your subscribe and keep your bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, world football related. We're going to all here under one Ruski. Now, again, one more thing before we bounce out of it. I will be doing a watch along. We did one last week. It was great fun. Of course, it was great fun. It's always fun when we're winning. But if you want to stop by, it's going to be on YouTube for sure. It might be on Twitch. It might be on Twitter as a possible multi-stream. We're going to try and play around with those settings. So be sure to just follow me on all of them. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter, and of course bang the old subscribe button and give the video some loving right now to get it up in the old YouTube algorithm, of course. And if you want to support the channel in another way, you can of course pop into the old description and follow me on Patreon. Check that bad boy out. That's some avenue to support the channel in another way. That is it though. I'm looking forward to it. If you want to keep in touch with the watch along details, just again follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm most vocal. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's good to have a bit of optimism. And again, just like what was said in the BRFCS, if we can win this one heading into national break, I will be flipping, doing backflips all the way through to the next game, because you know, last time we've had this optimism around Ewood Park, it's been a while. It's been the League One campaign, of course, the League One campaign. So let's get it underlined. Let's take care of Cardiff, who are different opposition, and it's been long overdue since the last victory over them. So looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are too. See you on Saturday for the watch along. Until then, I'm out.